Hey YouTube, it's Rook here from Rook Geek Goodness, my little channel on the interweb for all things geeky and cool. We have another action figure review we're taking a look at today, guys. We're looking at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series, the Imperial Death Trooper. I actually picked this guy up at Force Friday over the last week or so. This is for all the big Rogue One merchandise, Lego, action figures, Funko Pops. Everything pretty much that was new for the upcoming movie in December basically dropped on that particular day. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into our breakdown segment. We're going to crack this guy open. We're going to look at the articulation. We're going to look at the paint. We're going to look at the accessories. And that's a big question to you, the viewer. Should you actually buy this guy? Is he worth the MSRP pricing of about $20 right now on the shelf? So let's go into a breakdown segment and see if this guy is well worth the wait. Okay guys, we're in our breakdown segment taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Imperial Death Trooper out of packaging. So before we do anything, we always take a look at the packaging itself. This is your normal window box. It has an open front so you can see the figure within. It has the art, which is represented by the Imperial Death Trooper on the side. If we spin it along to the side, you'll see the write-up, in this case over here, which says Imperial Death Trooper, which is right here actually. And on the back, of course, is number 25 in the wave. And there's a little write-up over here that talks a little bit about the Imperial Death Trooper, what he'll be doing in the Rogue One movie. Not a whole lot to really tell you, no spoilers, unfortunately. Now let's actually look at the Imperial Death Trooper up close. This is a really, really cool looking figure in my opinion. Very sleek, very streamlined. It does take homage to, of course, the standard Stormtrooper. So, I mean, as far as the timeline goes, I think he would come before Stormtroopers or in the same time frame. That's why they look so similar. Great paint on this guy. Not a matte black, but more of a shiny black, which I really, really like. I think they did a really good job as far as the paint on this guy. No blemishes, no real, bad paint jobs. I mean, it's really going to be hard to have a bad paint job when you're just one solid color, black. So you can't really mess that up. Now, let's actually look at the head sculpt. The head sculpt is really cool, actually. There is this kind of little protrusion coming off the side here of the helmet, as you can see right here. I'm not sure what that is. Maybe they'll talk about it in a movie. Maybe some type of scanner that he would use. I don't know. But the head itself goes complete 360, and there's up and down movement if you want to use that. The arms go out to a full T. Now this arm here was a little tricky to get in position. The pauldron, I had to adjust it a little bit to break the arm in to get it to go out to this full T. As far as movement, the arm does go complete 360 on both arms, as you can see. It does have a single elbow joint. He does have wrist bends, and you can bend the wrist all the way in and go all the way out with the wrist, and it does swivel. This hand here is a trigger figure on his right hand, as you can see. The left hand has kind of a trigger finger, but it's done in a different type of pose, and I think I know the reason why, and we'll get to that in a second. This is kind of interesting though. The top portion of his body floats as well. I mean, he has a bit of a chest, an ab crunch, but the top, I've never really seen why this type of articulation. The entire top can spin 360, which is kind of different. Usually they would only go so far, but this one is kind of floating on this joint. So you can actually bend it in the middle to do an ab crunch and spin him 360 degrees. Different, but cool. He does have this really cool belt here. He has that type of backpack, the back piece that all Stormtroopers have. He has a lot of pouches on the front of it here. Now, this part is probably the big negative of this figure. The only bad point I see for this thing. This kind of loop that you see here is a kind of a gummy, plasticky loop that you would slot his pistol into, and we'll take a look at that in a second. I'm afraid that this would just, because of wear and tear, just break and just deteriorate and fall off. So please be careful if you do get this figure of this loop. I thought they would give an actual, holster that would actually hook in or hook from his belt all the way down so you can slot his pistol in. I'm not sure why they're using this type of loop effect. Maybe they do it in the Rogue One movie. That's the only thing I can think about. As far as his leg goes, let's move his arms. He can go a full kick. You can do splits with him. As far as going back to the kick, he does have a double jointed knee, as you can see here. He has his ankle can go down literally all the way. You can point it straight to the ground, or you can point it straight up, and he does have a rocker on his feet as well. So great amount of articulation on this figure. Now let's actually look at the accessories here while I stand this guy back up. First thing we have is this really cool pistol. It has a long scope on it, Really, really neat. Kind of a grayish color. Really like how it looks here. Now, as we talked about, he can actually put this into his little kind of I don't want to say the word holster because it's not really a holster. It's more just a loop that you can actually loop it into. And you just, it would look something like this into his loop. I mean, you can go a little further, so maybe something like that. Now, the real cool thing is this rifle he has. I do like how it looks. It is a little on the flimsy side. I wish it was a little stiffer, but that's okay. As far as the paint goes, there's I'll kind of zooms in a little bit. There's some red tinges across it on this side here, kind of a great amount of tooling on the front and on the side here. Now, what I think this is designed for this hand, as we were talking about, when you actually put this into his right hand, he does have a trigger finger, which will hook into the trigger, of course. If I can get it, there we go. So it looks something like that. But I think this hand here is specifically designed to hold the underbarrel of this particular rifle, at least from what I'm seeing when I was messing with it earlier. Let's see if I can get it in here. There we go. Oh, had it. It fell right out. Oh, bear with me, guys. So you get something along the lines of this type of look. I think that's what they're going for in this type of approach. I think I'd display it something along these lines. I think it looks really, really cool. I mean, you can get them into some really dynamic poses if you wanted to. I mean, something along the lines of this or that. Oh, he fell down. Something along the lines of that. I think it's really cool, some of the dynamic poses with the amount of this articulation you can do with this particular guy. I think it's really, really cool how the, let me fix his hand here, how he looks. I definitely think this is a buy. If you find one in your store, absolutely pick him up. More so, this is really designed as an army builder. I see this guy maybe even mixing with the normal stormtroopers and those new skiff troopers that they talked about in Rogue One. This is a phenomenal piece. I highly recommend it, guys. I hope you like this portion of the breakdown. Let's go into final thoughts. Okay, guys, final thoughts on the Star Wars Black Series Imperial Death Trooper, which will be showcased in the new Rogue One movie. I really like this figure. I think it gives such a drastic comparison from your typical Stormtrooper, which had the white and the black trim, to this jet black, menacing looking Stormtrooper. I mean, the sculpt is almost identical to your standard Stormtrooper, as we talked about in the breakdown segment. It's a phenomenal piece, well worth, in my opinion, the $20 price point. The only bad part, and the only thing I have to basically take a negative to this figure, is that holster in which it holds his pistol. It seems flimsy to me. It seems like after a lot of wear and tear, it can probably just, by playing with it a lot, it might just degrade and just break and fall apart. So that'd be my only bad point I would say for this particular figure. If you can locate one, definitely pick him up. He would be awesome, absolutely great in an army builder. Oh, that would be cool to have. And you can actually mix this guy in with your standard stormtroopers. I think it's a really, really cool idea to do something like that, guys. So I hope you like this video. Remember to click the like and hit the thumbs up button. Always subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.